The battle of the ballot, and we'll go straight across to our political debate. The BJP has been unstoppable in Uttar Pradesh, and what a tsunami of Narendra Modi it really has been. A verdict that will perhaps change the political contours and landscape of India. It's important to get a political discussion going on this, the ramifications of that, and what does this really mean for New Delhi as well. Joining us on the show, we've got Seshadri Chari, the convener of Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP. We've got Ajoy Kumar of the Congress Party and Pavan Varma of the JDU. Mr. Chari, let me begin with you, and I think congratulations are due and coming your way. It's a spectacular victory as far as the BJP is concerned, the best in 37 years for any party in Uttar Pradesh. It's a victory that's hands down and should silence your critics for a while. But I do want to ask you, is this a victory for Narendra Modi? Is this a victory for the BJP? And what will you attribute this absolutely stellar show to?
I think basically it's a victory for the Prime Minister, the party president, and also the hard work and strategy that these two people have worked out in the last 2.5 years. Mainly it is Prime Minister's hard work, Prime Minister's strategy, Prime Minister's sincerity in implementing some of the reform processes, Prime Minister's sincerity in devising so many programs which are actually pro-poor, but at the same time they are not of the socialistic model. So he could make a clear balance between what is good for people below the poverty line and at the same time that which does not eat into the exchequer, eat into the balance of payment issues, that does not really become a drain on the taxpayers' money. So this was very important to devise these two systems and then appealing to those who could probably give up the subsidies. So it was a package which was being worked out and implemented for the last 2.5 years. So this was the package that was given to the people. And then in 2014 he said, "Na khayenge, na khane denge." That means the main target was corruption, corrupt money, and also all those avenues through which economic drain was happening. So once he tried to tackle that issue, demonetization was one of the issues. I am not saying demonetization was the program. It was one of the programs, but unfortunately this was explained to the people in a very different manner by the opposition, and they made Narendra Modi the target while Narendra Modi made corruption the target. I think all these things have a cumulative effect on the voters' psyche, and they affected it. And the most important thing in this election is it's a resounding victory. People have risen above caste, community, creed and voted as a voter, as an Indian, as someone who would place their trust and faith on the Prime Minister. So that I think is the basic template on which this victory has to be seen.
Dr. Ajoy Kumar, I want to come to you, and I think Seshadri Chari wants to point out here that it was a complete package. The icing on the cake was perhaps Narendra Modi, who led it with his charisma, who led it with his magic. What went wrong for the opposition? Did you perhaps choose your target incorrectly? Because, and also at one stage, do we step back and see that the opposition did not have a narrative? Narendra Modi has occupied Hindutva, he's occupied pro-poor, he's attacking corruption. He's not really giving opposition today a narrative to go to the voters with. He symbolizes everything and more. Ajoy Kumar.
You know, Supriya, if I have to take something positive about that narrative, and I'll first of all congratulations to Seshadri Saab that it was a fantastic victory in BJP in Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and they really deserve compliments. As far as Punjab goes, or Goa and Manipur, I mean, and Manipur they seem to have done, though we are the largest, they have done well. So we need to recognize the most critical part is that what happens between elections is fundamentally critically important. So we have to go back to the drawing board and see, are we able to communicate those messages well? The state leadership, in Punjab, when you had a strong state leader, you were able to do very well. So in Goa and so in Manipur, despite 3 terms of anti-incumbency. So our lessons to learn is that the way to strengthen the centers of the state, we should not only highlight the 6 months of campaigning. Organizationally, the Bharatiya Janata Party was much better. They were able to socially engineer it better in Uttar Pradesh. No doubts about that. Did we fail and did we fall short on that? We definitely fell short in Uttar Pradesh in terms of messaging and also carrying the narrative in terms of the various social groups. So, as any political party and sensible party, we need to go back to the drawing board and see whether where we went wrong. And I definitely believe that the way to the strengthening the party at the center is the only way is to make the states very, very strong. So those are opportunities. Those are challenges definitely, but opportunities, and we need to get that fixed. I do not agree that only because the demonetization and the way the Prime Minister pictured it, whether that impacted, that's only a single narrative. You don't win elections only on single activity. We as an opposition have to become much more savvy in terms of working on the ground. And the other part I would like to say that, the Samajwadi Party in this election, hats off to Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. He was a very good partner. Could we do a better job together? It didn't work out in the elections, but definitely the Samajwadi Party and the Congress tried. And lessons to learn, Supriya, to be honest with you, states have to be strong. You have to work between elections. And you need to... So, is the BJP beatable? Definitely they are beatable. But unless we are able to carry the message on the ground...
Ajoy, I'm going to come to the invincibility of the Prime Minister and Shah in just a bit, but I'm going to interrupt you there. I'm sorry, I'll interrupt you there, and I'll get Pavan Varma into this mix. And Pavan Varma, the question really is that, is the narrative of the opposition, the narrative that was being said, the whole secularism angle, experts are now saying that secularism has been reduced to Muslim appeasement and no more than that. Does the narrative have to be changed? Do people of India need an alternative argument? And that alternative argument cannot be traditional political statements that the opposition seems to be making. The people of India want to look away from that.
Well, Supriya, let me begin first also by congratulating Seshadri Chari Sahab and his party and his leaders for the spectacular performance in UP. I think it's truly remarkable, and the degree of organization that went into it and the remarkable energy shown by the Prime Minister himself definitely need to be acknowledged. Having said that, I think there is one overriding lesson from from what has happened in UP and Uttarakhand in particular, and that lesson is that the opposition in this country must either build a credible narrative based on meticulous planning and organization, rising above local issues, keeping a national vision in mind that has an appeal to the people, which is based on a common program with an agenda and mandate for governance that is convincing. Either it does that, or I'm afraid the opposition will remain successful in certain pockets, but on the whole, we do not seem to understand that in the field of politics and beyond acrimony, we have an exceptionally powerful political adversary, which is the BJP, with a very dynamic leader and an organized cadre. Now, if we don't understand this, if the opposition doesn't understand it, and either comes together on a hurriedly cobbled up alliance, or without a narrative that reaches to the people, as I had said on a program